Hey everybody, this is Henry Kramer 605 Chaser. Welcome. I did not need to have a live today, and I apologize for everybody. Yesterday was not able to be live with the storm chasing. I would have loved to have gone over into areas of Minnesota, even out west river, over into Rapid City area, Kyle, South Dakota, and meet up with some of those chasers. There was some significant storms that were in O'Neill, Nebraska. But let's get to the topic at hand. But before I do, I want to thank our sponsors, Mission Nutrition, Fit Revolution, and Refuel Nutrition, all located in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Go and stop by them today and tell them 605 Chaser sent you. I was at 252 pounds and now down to 165 pounds and been maintaining that for a number of years. Feel much better, a lot more energy. You know, occasionally I'll get sick, but they give me another great immune booster. It's called Hot Russian Tea. I get that, especially during the fall. Boost your immunity, enhance that. So stop by there and tell them 605 Chaser sent you. We also have Prairie Pro General Contractors. Primarily, they do work in the northeast part of South Dakota. Uh, they do anything from your shingling, roofing, siding, whatever have you. So if you've got some storm damage, please check them out at prairieprosd.com and you can request a quote through there. All right, let's go ahead and get to the weather. So as you can see behind me, we do have a map that shows today's SPC update. This is the latest information from SPC. And let me refresh that so that we can get the latest information. They typically have an update for day one at 8 a.m. This one is looking a little bit behind, so we'll go with that at this point. So the slight risk is all that in the shaded yellow area, from areas just east of Des Moines, all the way over to Cleveland, Ohio area. We have risks of wind, hail, even possibility of a few isolated tornadoes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tornado outlook here. As you can see, 2% risk. Now, you know, yesterday was quite different. We had a 10% risk, and wouldn't you know it, the area that had tornadoes did not have that polygon of 10%. I'm sorry, the area that had tornadoes did not have the polygon of the 10% risk. There was a significant amount of capping going on, and it was very difficult for anybody to be able to predict. You know, the models were all over the place. I was working, and it was very difficult to figure out. But enough with the excuses. You don't want to hear that. I just feel bad when I can't get things right, and that's what happens. So the slight risk is here, but bear in mind that there are some areas that outside of that could end up having some of those isolated tornado threats. Let's take a quick peek at the weather models. I'll go ahead and give the NAM. NAM 3K is showing, this was updated at 2 a.m., so this is all that we have at this point in time. We have a 2 a.m. update, so it is a little outdated, but this is really all that we could go on at this point. We can look at HRRR, and we'll probably do that here. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we're expecting some of those storms to start to really tower. And then even later in the day, look at that Wisconsin area and Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Sheboygan, Kenosha, over in Illinois, and then continuing into the overnight hours based on this particular weather model. Let's go ahead and take a look at that HRRR, because that was the latest weather model to update. And now that was updated at 8 a.m., so I'm going to go back to the 7 a.m. so that I can get it farther out here. And this one does put significant over in Michigan area around 2 o'clock this afternoon. And this particular weather model is a little bit more reserved on how crazy this goes. So this puts it over in the late hours of the evening. Now, why this might be is because take a look at in the upper right hand corner, current watches and warnings. We don't have any warnings as far as severe weather, but temperature wise, we have the excessive heat warnings, we have the heat advisories. So much like we had in our area of South Dakota yesterday, we have the cap, the lid, the difficult. Another weather enthusiast explained it perfectly this morning, was saying take a soda bottle, shake it up, keep the lid on, and then slowly take that lid off. Eventually you keep loosening that lid and the soda is going to come out. That's the best way to really describe capping. It's capping off the storm clouds from really being able to mature and develop into thunderstorms. So that's probably why this weather model is suggesting that things will be later. Because of all that heat, it is going to make the difficulty for the storms to develop. That doesn't mean they're not going to. There might be a rogue storm cell here and there that could develop. Let's go ahead and take a look at that wind threat. For today, wind threat, as you can tell, majority of that same area, Madison, Wisconsin, Davenport, Iowa, Chicago, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Detroit, Michigan, all the way back over to Cleveland, Ohio. And then the hail threat, there is not a significant hail threat. However, there is the slight risk. They probably downgraded what they would have had if I was to estimate a guess as to why they did that. After yesterday, them having a significant hail risk in areas like Sioux Falls, that was really overdone, unfortunately, which made it difficult for some chasers to know where exactly to go. But that's where the risk is for today. The main reason why I went in to do a pre-recorded here today was because I wanted to show you the risk that we have here for Thursday. So here's tomorrow. Risk follows to the east. Areas like Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, New York, Maryland, the slight risk, marginal risks, back over into Indiana, Columbus, all of those. But let's go ahead and show you the risks that we have for Thursday. All right. Now, my thought on this is that let me take these fronts off so that we can have a better accurate view, because those were updated as of 4 a.m. So they're a little outdated to say the least. So this is the marginal risk for day 3, which would end up being Thursday, the 29th of August. To close out August, this is probably going to be the biggest impact, with the exception of obviously yesterday in areas like Minneapolis, how significant that was. But in order for us to be able to see that far out, we do have to go to the NAM 12K. So let's go ahead and put that into motion. As you can see up at the top, that is where the date and time stamp is. And we have to get to the 29th in order to see this. And here things come the night of the 28th. This has it, developing pretty early in the morning. So here's the thing that you have to be cautious of. 4 p.m., things develop in southwest Minnesota, northwest Iowa. over that marginal risk area, get more significant as it gets further into the evening. And again, Minneapolis, northwest Iowa, those areas would probably be the greatest concern. I would not doubt one bit, based on this, that they probably would end up putting a slight risk in that area. So that would probably be an isolated slight risk, possibly even a tornado risk, maybe a 2% tornado risk. Let's go ahead and take a look at the probabilistics for this. So there is that 5% probabilistic for the 29th. So we'll have to see how this plays out. I'll give another update here tomorrow. Thursday morning is going to be a little crazy busy with the fam, so it's going to be a little difficult, but I will try my best when I get done with that to give another probably pre-recorded update on that. Some of the other factors that I want to take a look at is the significant, well, let's take a look at the bulk shear, how that would end up being for Thursday. So there is a possibility of some bulk shear here, 40 to 50 knots around 7 p.m. So based on the timing of this weather model, there could be some areas here that end up seeing those isolated risks for tornadoes on the 29th of August. We'll have to see how that goes. Even possibility of some storms getting going with some spin-ups up in the Fargo area. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Let's also take a quick peek at one other factor since we're on this model. Surface-based CAPE. Around that time, yeah, there's plenty of energy that's going to be there, 4,700 joules per kilogram. So plenty of energy there, plenty of, let's see, the moisture. Plenty of moisture to work with. Pretty much the same type of scenario as we had yesterday, just pushed off further to the east. So Thursday looks like a day that we need to be pretty concerned. Now I do realize that this up here says Tuesday. That's when it was updated. Tuesday is 06Z, but it's valid for August 29th, 4 p.m. So this is what an estimated looks like for dew points. So mugginess returns to our area. Just a couple of days of cool down, and then mugginess returns. But if we go a little bit further here with the dew points, as you can see, things really dry out as our dew points. It's 7 a.m. Look at that, 30s and 40s. So cooler air again as the front shortwave trough comes through. All right, that is the latest information that we have from the 605 Weather Studios. Biggest weather today is going to be over in areas eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, as well as Chicago, Illinois areas, and Indiana, and over into the Ohio Valley. And then that will push off to the east over in areas like Pennsylvania. I got to go get the dog, so you guys all stay safe, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning for another quick update. God bless everybody.